Look at the void above us. Cold, silent, waiting. The monoist would keep it that way forever. But we are the spark. We are the blade. The void will not take them, not while we still draw breath. By the eternal and ever-flowing light, I swear myself to this cause.
Hey, what's going on? Tony here with the 8th Drop, and today we're going to be looking at Haliya Ascendant Cadet. Oh my god, why did I say it like that? Today we'll be looking at Haliya Ascendant Cadet. I built this deck for the Girl Pod show. I was on Girl Pod not too long ago, not to brag or anything, but it was really fucking cool. I love Girl Pod. Sarah Sandwich, hello. So I decided to go ahead and just make a deck tech. This is like my second Edge of Eternities deck. I normally don't make two decks from the same set like this, but I don't know. First of all, I like Edge of Eternities a lot. And also I want today's video to go along with Sarah and Sandwich's video because, I mean, come on. So let's look at our commander. It's Haliya Ascendant Cadet. This is a legendary creature, human soldier, 3/3 for 2, a green, and 2 white. So it's really bad on raids. But its ability says, whenever Haliya enters her attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So she has Titan text, which is really cool. And whenever one or more creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them, deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. So if you have 3 opponents and 3 of your creatures with counters on them attack, you get to draw a card. This commander is very interesting. It feels like a weaker but like my new tattoo. I feel like I could very easily like drop a lot of money into this deck over time. And I don't know, I really like the art. Actually, that's what really drew me to this commander. Not only that I need to pick one specifically for the show with Girl Pod, but I just really like this art. I don't know, something about it just feels so raw to me. Anyway, we're playing with +1/+1 counters. We're doing some card draw. We're doing some Titan tech stuff. So let's take a look at the deck. So let's start with our card advantage category. Not card draw specifically, but just cards that get us more cards or get us the card we're looking for. So card draw, tutors, card advantage, things like that. Starting with Court of Calling, this lets us tutor up a lot of things in our deck, and we'll see a lot of them as we go on, but this card is infinitely used. Then we have Dust Legion Duelist. This is just straight card draw, and it already does the thing we want to be doing by putting counters on things. We're going to put lots of counters on things, so while we're doing that, might as well draw some cards. Esper Sentinel is just raw white card draw. If you're running a white deck, you probably should be running Esper Sentinel if you have it. Green Sun Zenith. I remember when this card was like $2, man. I was shocked when I saw the price of this recently. It's better Court of Calling. For 1 mana plus the CMC of the creature you want, you get to just put a thing onto the battlefield. This card is fantastic. I'm surprised it was not always expensive, but yeah, there was a point where this card was super cheap when I got back into Magic. Then of course we have Harmonize, just cards in green. I love it. When we cast our second spell, and we will be double spelling pretty often, we'll get to draw a card and put a counter on them. So that's pretty cool. Terra Symbiosis. Okay, this is actually my favorite art in the set. This art style like feels so much like the aliens I would see as a kid, like what I imagine aliens looking like, just the little green men. I love this art so much. Anyway, Terra Symbiosis, put counters on a creature, draw that many cards. So if you put 3 counters on a creature in one instance, you draw 3 cards. This card's fantastic. I expect it to get much more expensive than it currently is. What is it? $5 currently? This will not stay $5. Palace Trackers, classic, land ATB, create a clue, crack that clue, draw some cards, put some counters, doing things we want to do. Worldly Tutor. This is actually like the most tutors I've run in any deck, I'm now realizing, in like a very long time. Worldly Tutor, search for a creature, put it on top. Very good. Yuna's Whistle. I kind of like the Cascade feeling of this card where you just don't know exactly what you're getting, kind of feels chaos warpy. I don't know, it's very fun. And it catches a lot of people off guard. And that's it for our card advantage. Now we're going to our counter doubler category. So these are the cards that just double our counters, or at least give us more counters than we should have. So starting with Conclave Mentor, if one more counters you put on a creature we control, put 1 additional counter, which is very good. We have Doubling Season. This is the classic counter doubler. Double the amount of counters you got, just straight up. Hardened Scales, get this down early. Just you gotta turn 1 play if you got this card in hand, and it will be good later in the game. It's just super simple. Kami of Whispered Hopes. So this could have gone into the ramp category, or this could have gone into the +1/+1 counter category, but this card does both. It's really good. Loading Zone. It's the new add 1 additional counter card. It also cares about spacecraft and planets, and you can warp it. Warping is very interesting. Being able to, if you know you're going to put a bunch of counters on something for a turn, just warp it out for the turn, then get to cast it later. Very good. Saz, Catsroy. I wasn't sure about this card until I played it, and then I played it, and this card is bonkers. Forget the searching for a land thing. That's less relevant. The doubling the counters ability happens, and it happens often, and it's great. All right, then we got our enabler category. So our enabler category is the cards that put the counter. So the category we just looked at before is a counter doubler category. This category puts counters onto things, which is important. You got to get that engine started. And we'll start with a new card, Bow Engineered Future. When it ATBs, create a lander token. So a little bit of ramp there, and then you play a land, and then if you play an extra land by activating a land token, maybe creatures this turn will enter with an additional counter for each land you play. It's very strong. Black Panther Wakandan King, so an alternate commander for this deck. It's not as strong as Haliya is in this deck because I think the deck is built around Haliya, but you could easily swap these around if you really wanted to. +1/+1 counters are kind of open. But yeah, Black Panther, we're going to be playing lands, so why not at least take some advantage of that. Plus the incidental life gain. You'll see a couple cards in this deck have incidental life gain. Actually very clutch. Bristly Bill, the All-Star. I got this out. I don't want to spoil anything about the Sarah Sandwiches show, but I got this out earlier than I probably should have, and this card snowballs super hard. That's all I'm gonna say. Cathedral Acolyte, the little bit of protection is very good. The enabling to put a counter on a thing is very good. I like Cathedral Acolyte. Dockworker Drone. This card I put in mostly because I wanted some more Edge of Eternities things in this deck. I think it's fine. It ETBs with a counter, which is good, gets the engine started. If it dies and has a bunch of counters, you can put on something else, which is good. But I would probably cut this at this point. But I wanted to show the deck as it is. Fight Rigging. Man, this card, I know why it's cheap, but I always look at it and I'm like, this card should be far more expensive than it is. It always goes off. The Hideaway always goes off the turn you play it or the turn right after you play it. It always goes off. It's so good. Forgotten Ancient. I mean, yeah, you're running a counters deck in green. You should probably run Forgotten Ancient. It's good. Ooh, another new card, Ouroboros. Let me tell you, this card is gross. This card is gross. So once you get this card out, you just want to throw all your counters on Ouroboros because it starts spreading its power to everything else via counters. It's so strong, actually. This card is currently $15.71 non-foil. I expect that cost to go way up over time. I'm not gonna lie to you. Path of Discovery, ETB Explorers. It can also get us some lands if missing lands. It's a good card. Shalinda, Yvonne Acolyte. Its incidental life gain also gets up counters on things. It's good. Beer Grid is absolutely an all-star. It does everything you want to do. It enables counters. It gives you payoffs for counters. There's a reason this card has been slowly climbing up. I love it. I cannot wait to find a search foil copy of it. Tremel. The proliferate's really cool, especially if you have a turn where you're just going off with a bunch of your little dudes. He can be very good. Waka. This card's actually insane. Putting counters on everything is great. The destruction of artifacts is fantastic. The reach is crazy because we don't have a lot of flyers, or we might not have any flyers in this deck, but the reach is super relevant. Our next category is interaction and protection. So we've got, of course, our favorite board wipe, Beta Progress. It gives itself counters and it clears the board of all those pesky artifacts and enchantments we don't care about. Now we do run a lot of enchantments, so playing this card at the right moment is pivotal, but it'll almost always hurt your opponents more than it's hurting you. Beast Within is an absolute classic, not a lot to say there. Same thing with Beseiju. If you've got it, run it. It's kind of expensive, but it is good. Damning Verdict, a one-sided board wipe or a lopsided board wipe is always good. Farewell. You should be running a few board wipes. The command zone told me that. I feel like sometimes I'm running too many board wipes or too many pieces of mass interaction, but I don't know, the command zone, they told me, and I built this deck very much to the specifications of what the command zone said. I wanted to build something that would look good on camera, and I don't know, the deck feels strong. So maybe the command zone knows something, you know. Heroic Intervention, mass interaction. Protecting your board is sometimes just as relevant as interacting with your opponent's board, or stop making them fizzle a interaction spell or a board wipe missing. Heroic Intervention is very good. In the same way, Inspiring Call is also very good for the same exact reasons. Just protect your board. Also some card draw, which is very good. K-Grip. I don't care what anybody says. I don't run a green deck without K-Grip, man. Split Second is so strong, and I'm tired of pretending it isn't. Path. Rampaging Yaoguai. it's kind of good. It's kind of good. I like that it's kind of like Bane of Progress, but it's not as disruptive to you. But it is just, at the end of the day, a big body with Vigilance and Trample, which is fine, but like not the best. Resourceful Defense. A lot about cutting this card. I don't know if I love it yet. We have plenty of ways to put counters on things. This isn't super duper necessary. Snakeskin Veil. This catches people off guard all the time. You have only one green mana up, they're like, you can't Heroic Intervention. You're right, but I can protect my most important thing, and that's important. Together Forever puts counters on things and also lets us save some of our stuff. Wasteland. You should run some kind of land interaction. This is just a PSA. This card's near for the purposes of being a PSA. Run some land interaction. Lands aren't sacred. All right, next we've got our payoff category. We'll start with the Sultron Invader, aka Walking Ballista. This card isn't here because it does play well with +1/+1 counters, but also it's part of a 2-card combo that's good for like closing out a game if a game's going far too long, and we'll get to that very soon. Diadrene, Synthesis Amalgam is another new card from EOE. I kind of like it a lot. It does something different than what we're kind of focused on doing, but it does give us a secondary game plan. If we happen to draw this card and our main game plan of just putting counters on a bunch of our creatures isn't working, maybe we can make some tokens and go wide instead of going tall. Haliya Sun Crowns. This is the combination with a Sultron Invader that I was talking about a minute ago, where it's the 2-card combo that just wins the game. You probably see this happen. You probably had this happen to you more than likely. It's a very common counters combo, but I felt like I should probably run it. Sometimes, you know, these games go far longer than they should, and just top decking a nice Heliod while having a Walking Ballista on board is a good way to close out games. I could not run a +1/+1 counters deck in green without running my wife, Lily Bowen, Raging Grandma. I love this card, man. Fallout New Vegas is, you probably know this about me if you watched the channel for a while, but Fallout New Vegas is my favorite game of all time, and I love Lily. She is one of my favorite companions of all time. And I was so excited to have an opportunity to actually run her in a deck that makes sense. Anyway, the life gain is very good. You can actually stack the counters in such a way that the last time it triggers, you're getting way more than 16 life, so just, you know, factor that in. Voracious Hydra. Thank you, Nick, by the way. One of my friends, Nick, traded me this right before the show because I did not have a copy. It's a classic counters thing. You should run it probably. It's removal. It's a big source of counters. If you need to check for counters, it does that very well. And it has trample, so it can get past a lot of those pesky blockers. Watchful Ragstag. This is kind of in the same boat as Diadrene, where it's a alternate thing we can do if going tall isn't working. We might be able to go wide by making a bunch of copies of the Watchful Ragstag. So, you know, time to get into the classic ramp category. We got Arcane Signet. It's Arcane Signet. Biophagus. I love Biophagus. This card just keeps going up. It's 1750 now. I am shocked. It's not that good. Elvish Mystic, running the Miku one because of course we are. Farseek. It's Farseek. Gyre Sage. It's a Gaia's Cradle for us for all intents and purposes. We can dump all our counters on the Gyre Sage very often and just tap for all of the green mana. This is a Gilded Lotus for us almost always because we'll pretty often just be able to throw a counter on it and it immediately taps for 3. I probably don't need to run Mana Vault. I just have not run it in a deck for a while. And I figured what better deck to throw it in the commander that costs a lot. So Mana Vault's here. Probably don't need it. Rampant Growth. We are running a lot of ramp in this deck. I'm now looking at our list again. I've played this deck a lot. I know it works, but we're running a lot of ramp. And again, I did follow the Command Zone's deck building guide, the newer deck building guide for this deck, and it worked well. So Rishkar, Pima Renegade, plays into a lot of our strategies. A lot of our creatures are going to have counters on them, or should almost always have counters on them, so tapping for a lot of mana is very easy. Scholar Who New Horizons fixes us. Well, it does fix us, yeah, because we can get Temple Gardens and Savannas and things of that nature with Scholar of New Horizons. So this card fixes us, and it enters with the counter, which is very good. Soul Ring, 3 visits. And then we have my favorite category, the category I use when I don't know where to put this card in otherwise. We have the utility category. So we have Agatha's Soul Cauldron. This card is really expensive for what it does. I mean, it does very good things. We have a lot of activated abilities to take advantage for it, but this card is very expensive. Like $50 for this is insane. I know it's because VV standard, what do they call it? VV Cauldron, something like that. Is it Cauldron? But man, Botanical Brawler. I don't know if I'm going to keep this card. I do really like it. I like that as trample. I love that it grows big very quick, but oh no, man, it doesn't really do anything for us. Unlike Saz's Chocobo, which I don't know if it's just confirmation bias, but this card's always an all-star. Every time I play it on turn one, I've consistently got this on turn one. Maybe like, okay, consistency is probably a strong word. Maybe like 35% of my games when I tested this deck, I got this on turn one, and it just is a house. By the time it gets big enough, you give it Rogue's Passage, it just slips through, punches in the face, you don't expect it. Grows so innocuously. Final Fantasy X land, Ancient Metropolis. It creates a dude who ends up getting a lot of counters, which is nice. Otherwise, it's still land. So, as always, we don't talk about lands unless they are relevant to our strategy. I don't have anything else to add here about lands this particular time. Rogue's Passage is very good. Make sure you do run it. Yeah, there's nothing to say on lands here, really. Just play your Selesnya lands. You will be fine. Play what you can afford. Upgrade when you can. And that is my Haliya Ascendant Cadet deck. I genuinely love this deck. I didn't think I was going to love this deck when I built it, but when I played it and have been testing it for like the last, I don't know, when did GirlPod actually ask me to do this? Let me look. Yeah, so 2 weeks I've been testing this deck like pretty consistently. This might be like one of the only like 3 decks I've played, and they've all been decks I've tested, but this one I played far more than the others, and let me tell you, I am falling in love with it a little bit. I've never really done a +1/+1 counters deck prior to Unif Grand Summoner, and I ended up falling out of love with Unif Grand Summoner very quickly. I don't know what it is, the deck just did not click with me. This, however, is clicking much more than Unif did, and I'll probably invest some real time and money into this one. I really dig it. I do own it in paper, as you saw in the intro, so if you see me at Magic Fest Atlanta, come harass me and we'll play a game with this deck. I'll have it on me for sure. Catch me on the Edge of Eternities GirlPod episode coming out soon. I'm very excited. I'll link their channel down below, and also check out Jamar Game Design. He was also on the show, and he's my friend, and I love him, and I love you. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment, let me know what you think of this deck. Let me know what you would change. I know there are some obvious changes in here, but I really wanted to show off the deck as I played it on the show. I didn't want to like lie. I don't want to lie, so let me know what you think of the deck. Let me know what changes you make. Let me know what decks you want to see. I'm going to be covering all of the Avatar stuff. It's literally happening as I'm making this deck. Like, I'm not going to stop making this video for that, you know? I have some amount of integrity, and I have also very limited time, so. Oh, right, shit. I have a second channel now. If you're interested in Airsoft, like real life airsoft, and you're interested in this, be sure to check the description for my new channel where I'll be talking about stuff like that. Also cars and other like generic dude stuff. I know that sounds kind of boring on paper, and it might be, but I just like stuff and I want to share more of my life with you. So if you're interested, check it out. I promise I won't be like super chuddy about it. Anyway, I love you. Be sure to subscribe. We'll talk soon. Tell your mother I said hello.